Today we're talking about 3 different types of invasive species here in Savannah, Georgia. To start us off, we will cover fire ants, also known as Solenopsis invicta, one of the most aggressive and destructive invasive insects in the United States. You can recognize fire ants by their reddish and brown colored body and painful stink. But how did something so small cause such big problems? The fire ant is native to South America, but was introduced to the United States between 1933 and 1945. Their introduction was accidental, possibly due to ship's ballast. They've spread to infest more than 260 million acres of land in 9 southeastern states. This species has become very abundant, displacing many native ant species. It has the potential of spreading west and surviving in southern Arizona and along the Pacific coast north to Washington. Fire ants are a concern to plants, animals, and us because they are among the most aggressive and destructive invasive species on the planet. Their stings feel like burning fire, causing intense pain, itching, and in rare cases, life-threatening allergic reactions. But the danger doesn't stop there. In the United States alone, fire ants cause an estimated $6.7 billion in damage every year, destroying crops, killing livestock, and even damaging electrical systems. They attack over 50 crops, damage roots and irrigation, and even protect harmful pests while killing beneficial insects. But how exactly does the fire ant spread? At certain times of the year, mature ant colonies produced winged males and virgin queens, known as alates. These swarm into the air in massive mating flights. After mating, males die while the fertilized queen sheds her wings and searches for a nest site. Once underground, she lays her first eggs and feeds the larva with her own saliva. These become the first worker ants, who then take over foraging, nest building, and brood care. From that point on, the queen's sole job is to lay eggs, sometimes for years or even decades. Control strategies include selective insecticides, biological methods, and in sensitive areas, hot water. An effective chemical-free solution safe for wildlife like sea turtles and nesting birds. As we can see here, fire ants are incredibly resilient. They work together to remove poison from their mound grain by grain. Their colonies are incredibly adaptive, often with multiple queens, which allows them to rebuild quickly even after treatments. Their ability to relocate, reproduce rapidly, and defend their territory makes eradication nearly impossible. Instead, the goal is to control their population, reduce their impact, preventing new invasions, especially in ecological sensitive or high-traffic areas. Some ways that you can help prevent further spread is to avoid moving soil, mulch, or sod, or potted plants from infested areas, because fire ants can easily hitch a ride in contaminated materials.
Here we have Lonicera japonica, commonly known as the Japanese honeysuckle. This plant is native to Eastern Asia and made its way over to the United States in the early 1800s to Long Island, New York, intentionally as an ornamental plant and also for erosion control. It has made its way all the way down the East Coast and has been seen in some parts of the Midwest. Even though Japanese honeysuckle is a beautiful plant, it is illegal to sell due to its rapid growth. Japanese honeysuckle can be mistaken for various types of honeysuckles, like the grape, yellow, hairy, and red honeysuckles. But one way to distinguish the Japanese honeysuckle from these is by its dark-colored fruits and an absence of fused leaves. Japanese honeysuckle can be found on the edge of disturbed areas, like the edge of a forest and along pathways. This is because Japanese honeysuckle likes to be in the sun more than it is in the shade. The way Japanese honeysuckle spreads is by its seeds that are eaten by birds and carried to other locations, or by something called a stolon, or a runner. This is an extension of the mother plant that is able to root at its node in other locations. Why the Japanese honeysuckle is a problem is because Japanese honeysuckle is an aggressive plant due to its ability to grow quickly and choke out native species from receiving sunlight or pollinators that could be beneficial for their growth and reproduction. Ways to control Japanese honeysuckle is by manual efforts and with chemicals. If it is just a seedling or in a small area, you can remove it by removing the entire root system, or it will grow back. Also, periodically mowing can help, but the Japanese honeysuckle has a tendency to climb, so cutting its vines will be easier. If cut and mowed, there is a high chance of it coming back in a higher density. So this is where chemicals come into play. Chemicals must be sprayed over the area and may have to be reapplied for several months to years to get rid of the Japanese honeysuckle. It is possible to control the spread of Japanese honeysuckle, but eradication may be difficult due to how quickly it grows, how long the treatment takes, and the time, money, and effort needed to get rid of it.
For my part in the invasive species project, I went to a local park in search of the Philostachys aurea. From the family Poaceae and the subfamily Bambusoideae, this is also known as the golden bamboo. When you first come across this plant, it definitely looks strange and doesn't look like it was cultivated or even originated from this area, and it wasn't. The native range of the golden bamboo was found to be China and Japan. After research, it was determined it fully originated in China, but it's just been grown and cultivated in Japan for hundreds of years. The reason why the golden bamboo does so well across the eastern seaboard is because of the similarities in the temperate and subtropical climates from its native range to its new range. The golden bamboo, named for those rich golden yellow shoots that you see there, was first introduced in Alabama in 1882 for ornamental purposes. It was desired for its height and density and ability to create visual barriers through dense thickets to create barriers in gardens for things like privacy, making it an intentional introduction. Because of its aggressive growth and rapid spread, the golden bamboo has been known to choke out its native fauna. This can lead to a growth of a monoculture of only the golden bamboo, which decreases plant diversity, which can cause an overall decline in the natural ecosystem. The golden bamboo spreads and reproduces via rhizomes or underground stems. These underground stems are known for spreading out horizontally, producing new shoots which can travel over long distances both above and underground. So not only is the native fauna being outcompeted above ground for resources like sunlight as the golden bamboo gets taller and taller, but is also being outcompeted underground as the golden bamboo uptakes water, nutrients, and other resources needed by the native fauna to survive. Infrastructure-wise, the golden bamboo roots have been known to break up sidewalks and is also intertwined in electrical lines and water lines that are planted underground. The main way to combat the growth of the golden bamboo is by mechanical mowing and herbicides. The tricky part of this is that you have to kill the roots and rhizomes underground and not just chop what is above ground. It's not really feasible or possible to fully remove it because of its interconnectedness underground with electrical and water main lines, but it can be contained through mowing and herbicides. In conclusion, to further prevent the spread of the golden bamboo, people can stop planting the golden bamboo. It is still sold commercially and in nurseries all across the US, and people unknowingly plant the plant, not knowing what it can do to its native fauna and ecosystem.